little Debussy. Am I pronouncing that right? Debussy? Debussy. For your Friday morning, I believe it is today. Anyway, I better turn this down. So, today is September the 1st, and winter is going to be here in a couple months. And this year, this is kind of like the make it or break it kind of thing for me. Because if I can't manage to be warm this winter, that makes my whole doing the van thing questionable. Because I want to be warm at all times. So I got some ideas, and hopefully they will make things great. Number one idea, which I think I've mentioned before, I'm not going to shut my heat off. If I'm in the van and it's cold outside, the heat is on. And I'm going to be using my Wave 3 propane heater, Olympic Wave 3, which I've talked about in the past, but I'll do a quick little thing about it right now. To me, it's one of the best heaters you can use for van dwelling, for propane heaters, because it uses less propane, and so it's obviously cheaper. It produces 1600 BTUs, British thermal units, and which is way lower than any other. I mean, the Buddy heaters is like 3,000. This one is 3,000 on high, and because it produces less heat, it produces less moisture, because byproduct of burning propane is moisture. So the biggest issue with propane heaters for van dwelling is that they're too hot. So the plan this year is to have my vent of my roof fan on all night. Now, there is a thermostat on my fan, and if I could figure out how to use it, which I haven't really attempted to do yet, I would love to be able to set it so that I can just go on and off as needed. And maybe it even goes on and off and adjust the airflow, like maybe the fan speed will increase if it's particularly hot. Because the thing is, I can control whether the fan's on or off, and I can control whether the heater's on or off, but I can't control the temperature outside. So even though I might get a nice, perfect temperature inside for one night, a couple weeks later it could be way colder, and now my perfect temperature is no longer achieved. Like if I had a fantastic fan that did not have a thermostat and you just turned it on low and hope for the best, well, your heater is always going to have the same output of heat, and your fan is always going to turn at the same rate. So that's not changing. So the amount of airflow coming out of your van is not changing. But if it's cold outside, you could still be cold inside, even with the heat on. So it's going to be, it's going to take some adjustments to get things dialed in. But I'm hoping if I can figure out the thermostat on this MaxxAir fan that I can do it right, and that would be great. Second thing I'm going to do is I'm going to get a second propane tank. I know space is absolutely critical in a van, and that's understandable. I know people are like, what are you talking about? Another propane tank? That thing is huge. Not huge, but it does take up space. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to buy a small propane tank. You can buy, I think they're like 10 pounds, and they're like, they're the same circumference, but they're shorter. With any luck, I can fit it under my bed. The idea with a second propane tank is, one of the worst things that happens is you're sleeping, you're all warm in your bed, you get up, you gotta go to work, and it's freezing because you ran out of propane in the middle of the night. That sucks. So the way to avoid that, my thinking, is to have a second propane tank. All you do is unscrew the nozzle, put it on the other propane tank, screw it on, turn it on, you're good to go. Within 5 to 10 minutes, the van should be warm again. That's the hope. We're at a Home Depot parking lot right now, and as you can tell, it's loud. Anyway, so that's my plans for the winter. My main thing is to try to get the heat at a tolerable temperature. And I don't want to freeze. I don't want to have the heat. I know most people living in vans, they don't run heat at night. They wake up in the morning and they turn it on. Well, I live in Canada. It's not that cold in Vancouver. It was last winter, but I'm hoping this winter's going to be better. But I still don't want to be cold. I don't want to be cold at all. I want it to be slightly below room temperature. 21 or 72 Fahrenheit is fine, but as close to that as possible, because I want to be comfortable. Loud people are loud. On another note, I'm not sure if I'm going to do another video before Sunday, which is a couple days from now. So there's a big CamperCon thing going on. Justin Incredible's organizing. You probably saw it at his channel if you watch him. And there's going to be, I'm guessing, a fair number of people out there. I know that there's already 4 YouTube content creators that are going, that I know of. And I'm looking forward to meeting them. People as far as away as Ontario are coming, so who knows? It could only be like 10 or 20 people, or it could be 50 people. It could be 100 people. Who knows? But if you're in Vancouver and you want to check out some RV van dweller action, come on down to Spanish Banks. It's Sunday, this Sunday, September 3rd, in the west parking lot. Not the far left west parking lot, but the west parking lot. One closer over. Thanks for watching, guys. Take care. Have a good night.